Hi, welcome to the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. This is not Lisa, and I am here today with my fancy yarn. Look at that. Look at the yarn. You see that? Look at the color depth on that yarn. Isn't it pretty? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Gotta love it. Love it. Love it. This is the BFL Sock 4-ply fingering. See that there? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Since we last spoke, our son bonked his head. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Lisa. Welcome to episode 18 of the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Lisa Westervelt Flute Studio and on Ravelry at LisaJack78. If you are a new viewer, welcome. I hope you'll enjoy this episode. And to everybody who's returning to be with me again today, thank you so much for coming back. Returning viewers will probably have noticed that I skipped recording an episode last weekend, so I will get to the reason for that a little bit later, but I do have a lot to catch you guys up on today. I have a finished object, I have a few fresh cast-ons, and even a new spinning project. So I hope that you will stick around and see what is on my needles right now. But first, we'll start with what am I wearing? So this is a cardigan that I test knit for Amanda Kaffka of the Crafty Jackalope. And I think this was about 2 years ago now. I think it was in 2019 that the pattern was released, maybe around February. So it's like just been about 2 years. And so I test knit this for her. I think I was the only one actually who has knit this cardigan besides Amanda. But I think more people should knit it because it's actually really, really cozy. And I know you can't see a lot of it in this view, so I'm going to insert some pictures. But I'm going to try to stand up because the amazing part of this cardigan is the pockets. The pockets are an absolute party because they're full of tassels. The tassel action is pretty amazing on this sweater. So this was really fun. This was the first garment that I ever made that had pockets. So that was a new thing for me. Pockets are really a nice thing to have in a sweater, especially when you get a little bit chilly. You can just tuck your hands right in there. So yeah, I mean, this sweater was like, it was like a really basic cardigan to knit. There's like some, I think these are called raglan sleeves. So the increases happened in this area. It was all knit in one piece. And this is purple. I'm always telling you guys that I always buy purple yarn and knit with purple yarn. And then I haven't really shown hardly anything purple on the podcast at all. So this might actually be like my first purple garment that I have shown to you guys in 18 episodes. But I promise you, I buy so much purple yarn. I just need to knit it up. So, all right. So the yarn that I used for this project is Cascade Yarns Highland Duo. And the color is, I think it's called Purple Orchid. It doesn't say on the label the color. It just says color number 2305. Which is not very descriptive, but I think I was just checking my Ravelry project page for this, and I'm pretty sure I remember it is Purple Orchid. So this is a great yarn. It is super soft and super cozy. My favorite shade of purple. It is 70% baby alpaca and 30% merino wool. So I really enjoyed using this yarn. The sweater is super warm and super cozy. The only complaint that I have about this yarn is that it does pill quite a bit. I did film a depilling video. I actually filmed a much longer segment than what I posted. What I posted on my channel was actually just a video of me actually depilling the sweater, no talking, and I had some of my flute music to it. And I think it's really cool. So if you guys are interested in that and haven't checked it out, I will link it below for you guys. But I did actually film a much larger portion of the video, actually talking about the gleaner and everything. So I think today's episode is going to be pretty short. So I think I might include some of that footage in here for you guys to see, because I did that video maybe a month ago, and I think this is now the second time that I've worn the sweater, and it's already pretty pilly again. The sleeves are the worst, and I guess that's just because, you know, I haven't even worn this in a coat because it was really warm out today. I guess it's just the nature of sleeves rubbing up against things. But I don't really have, I haven't really noticed many other garments of mine pilling, and definitely not to this extent. So I think that has something to do with the alpaca content. I think it's just the nature of alpaca, and that is what I can attribute the high pillage. I have no idea like what the actual word would be. But yeah, I mean, that's my only complaint. I was too lazy to get out the gleaner again and depill again before filming this episode, especially since you guys are really going to just be seeing the top of it. So I hope that you will forgive me for that. All in all, I think that this is a really fun cardigan. There's no button band. I just wear it open, and as I said, it's super warm and cozy, and it's purple. So it's purple-tastic, and I love it. So actually, I wear this one quite a bit. It's really easy to throw over a t-shirt, and I should knit more cardigans because I don't really have that many, and I really love wearing them. So, yeah, so I think that is it for what am I wearing. I will link the project page below in the down bar, as always, if you guys are curious to link directly to Amanda's pattern. Yeah, so let's move on to finished objects. So I have just one finished object this week, and we're gonna kind of go into my knit-worthy section today for finished objects because I knit Owen a stuffed Winnie the Pooh. And I think it looks like Winnie the Pooh, kind of, sort of, and it's really cute anyway. I don't have it here to show you because I already gave it to Owen today, and he is now in bed cuddling with Pooh. So I will insert some pictures right over here. And of course, I will be inserting some footage that I took of Owen because I know that you guys always love seeing Owen on the podcast. So there will be plenty of silliness coming your way. Yeah, but let me get my notes here because I am never going to correctly pronounce this designer's name. Okay, so the pattern is called Knitted Winnie the Pooh. And the designer is Olga Chepizhnaya. Maybe? Not sure. I'll just put it here. I'm pretty sure that she's Russian. So I am really proud of myself because I decided to look on Ravelry see if there were any Winnie the Pooh patterns, and I had a feeling that I would find like crochet patterns because I just usually when I'm looking for specific things like that, it's kind of an abundance of options on the crochet side and not so much on the knitting side. But I found Olga's design, and she has made the most incredible replicates of like so many fun Disney Nickelodeon characters. I'm like afraid to show too many of them to Owen because he is going to want all of them. Like her Eeyore is amazing, and she's got Tigger, and then she's got like SpongeBob. I know SpongeBob's not Disney, but she got SpongeBob. She's got characters from like the Ice Age. So really worth checking out her pattern page on Ravelry, especially if you have kids or grandkids, nieces or nephews, just any lovable little person in your life who really enjoys specific characters. She has at least 20 patterns over there. So definitely head over to her page and check them out. So I will say the pattern was not the easiest to read. She had a lot of pictures in the pattern, so that was really helpful. But I think that she didn't have anybody like test knit these, obviously, and I don't think that she had a tech editor. I think that really the pattern is well done. It's just, I think, a language barrier in like Russian to English that just some things were a little bit quirky the way that she wrote them. Like instead of like bind off however many stitches, she would just say like close the knitting. And I had never seen that before. I had just never seen somebody just write like close the knitting. So like it would take me a minute to kind of figure out what exactly she was talking about. But I was successful. I mean, the pattern was clear enough that I was able to follow it with a little bit of thought involved. I did have to think a little bit. And I think he turned out really cute. I did a couple of things differently, like not really differently. I tried to give him a mouth, but I couldn't really get it to look right. And I don't know. I kind of gave up. I did it a couple of times and I just couldn't get happy with it. And so then I took his mouth off, and then I just went on to like attaching the arms and the legs and making the sweater and attaching the sweater. And then after I had the sweater on Pooh, I kind of didn't really feel like he really needed a mouth. And then the other reason I didn't give him a mouth is because the pattern actually includes a honey jar with some honey in it. And I decided not to do that because the honey jar is crochet. And I don't have anything against crochet, but it's been way too many years since the one time I did any crochet. And I didn't really feel like working on crochet for a honey pot. I decided that Pooh would be just fine without his honey jar, because he's featured plenty of times without an actual pot of honey in his hands. And of course I give him to Owen, and Owen's like, he's missing a mouth, and where's his honey pot? So, but I think that he really loves him. I am going to insert some footage here for you guys, and I'll probably cut out a lot of the silliness and save it for the end of this video. So here is some Owen footage with more to come at the end. Actually, before I insert Owen here, I'm really proud of myself because I used all stash yarn to make Pooh. For some reason, I had a ridiculous amount of this yellow acrylic yarn in my stash. So the yellow that I used is just something I picked up at Michael's. It's Loops and Threads, or maybe I got it at Joann's. Might have been Joann's. Loops and Threads Impeccable Solids, and I think the color was called Sunny Day. And then the red sweater, I used Barocco Vintage. So those were things that I had in my stash. So good job, Lisa, for participating in your own Stop, Drop, and Knit Your Stash thread. If you guys are new to my channel, you guys can check out on Ravelry. You can find the group for my podcast, Stop, Drop, and Knit Podcast. And we have a couple of threads going along in that group. And the most popular one is Stop, Drop, and Knit Your Stash. And this is just a thread for people to post what they are knitting using things that they already have. And I also keep forgetting to check out the hashtag on Instagram. The hashtag is hashtag Stop, Drop, and Knit Your Stash. And I checked it out today for the first time. after, you know, a few months. And there's like a whole bunch of people posting things that they've been knitting with their stash. So that is really cool. I'm not regularly checking the threads in Ravelry, but I do pop in once or twice a week and check out what you guys are all posting. So thank you very much for participating in those. At some point, I will be drawing winners from whoever is participating for a prize. I don't know if I'm going to wait until like the very end of 2021 or maybe just pop in at some point with a random prize. I don't know if it's something I'm going to do every once in a while, but yeah, for everybody who is participating, know that at some point I will be doing a giveaway prize for participants of that thread. So, okay, without further ado, oh, actually, one more thing. The reason, I forgot all of this. This is like really important. The whole reason that I knit Winnie the Pooh, well, there's two reasons. Okay, so I cannot believe I forgot to say this at the beginning. You guys, oh my God, it has been a week. Let me just take a sip of my tea here because I have a story. Oh my goodness. So, oh my gosh. The reason I didn't podcast last week was because a week ago Monday, so this would be March 15th. This was a Monday, right? I just said that. This is a Monday. I had just sat down on the couch and was halfway through casting on something new, like mid-cast on, and my husband opens the door and he says, Lisa, you need to get your shoes on. We need to leave right now. Owen has had an accident. The school has called and an ambulance is on the way. I freaked out. So, oh my goodness. That was like the absolute scariest moment of our lives because like we didn't know what had happened. We knew that it was serious enough that the school felt like they needed to call paramedics and get the ambulance there. I guess all that we were told is that he fell. So maybe Bryce, I don't know. My husband is the one that answered the phone. So maybe he was told a little bit more information. He was basically like told to, I need you to stay calm. I don't stay calm. You guys know me. Like I had to like really, really, really focus on being calm. But so we get to the school. I was a nervous wreck. So was my husband. And what had happened was he was in his gym class and they were playing some kind of game. And the ball got caught under his feet. Like there was not supposed to be a ball on the floor. All the balls were supposed to have been cleared away. But Owen, when he runs fast. He zooms, he runs, and he didn't see the ball. The ball got under his feet, and next thing you know, he had fallen and hit his head, and he was knocked unconscious. And apparently it was 90 seconds before he regained his consciousness. So that was really, really scary. And that is the reason why the school called the ambulance and paramedics. And thankfully, everything turned out okay. So Owen and I got to ride in our very first ambulance ride. Hopefully we will not be making a habit of this. So we went to the hospital, and a lot of you, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably are aware of this already, but I know that a lot of you guys don't follow me on Instagram, so this is brand new news to you. So we went to the hospital, and I was the only one allowed in the room because I had ridden in the ambulance with Owen, and my husband drove, and because of COVID, he wasn't allowed in. the only reason that I was even allowed in is because of Owen's age. He's only 6. So a parent was allowed because it was like pediatric. So we went to the trauma center and he had to have CAT scans. So I've got a picture. I will put some pictures in so you guys can see. I wasn't allowed in the room for that. They kicked me out for that point. But yeah, so it was a very eventful time since I saw you guys last. And so after that, so actually I should tell you guys, the CAT scans were perfect. Thank God. He had no fractures and no internal bleeding. No bleeding in his brain or anything. So that was, we're very lucky and very thankful. I spent several days just imagining how much worse things could have been, and I'm not going there anymore. And yeah, so Owen's great. He feels back to normal. He will be sitting out gym for well, he's got spring break this week, and then the following week he has got to go to 4 days of physical therapy mandated by New York State before he's allowed to participate in his gym class again. But as far as Owen is concerned, he is fine and he is acting like himself, and tomorrow he is filming Winnie the Pooh. So this is like a really long way of me having forgotten to tell you that the reason I knit Winnie the Pooh for Owen is because he is playing the role of Winnie the Pooh in his theater. They are filming tomorrow, and we are really excited because this is his 3rd show now, but it is the first show that he is allowed to have anybody in the audience. So New York State just started opening up like theaters and things again. I don't know about like in the city or anything like that, but like his theater program, they are allowed to have certain capacity indoors now. And so he is now allowed to have 2 people come and watch the show with him. He'll be filming. So basically what we're doing is we're attending the filming because this all just happened recently. So they've been planning on just filming it all along. So we will be getting a DVD, but we're going to be allowed in to see him. And it's really hard. Like when your your only child, and then their first experience doing stuff like this, and you haven't been allowed to be there for any of it. You just kind of drop them off and have fun. So yeah, so we're really excited for that. So that's happening tomorrow. So I'm hopefully going to be able to get some pictures, and if I get some cute pictures, I will post those in at the end of this video as well. And now, finally, here is Owen with his Pooh. Hi, Owen.
Hi.
I made you something very special.
What is it?
Okay, you want to give it to him? Did you find it yet?
This looks nothing like it.
What do you think?
This looks nothing like Winnie the Pooh.
I tried. It doesn't look anything like him.
Look.
Yeah?
It doesn't really look like him. Why, Dad?
He doesn't
He looks
look,
a lot like
he looks
Winnie
a
the
lot
Pooh.
like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, he's handmade. He's special and he's mommy made.
Yeah. He's got a sweater.
He's got stuff and fluff.
Uh-huh.
What is this stuffing for?
All the stuffing inside him. What do you think?
I knew it wasn't new stuffed animal. Wait, look at his neck.
Can he sing a song? Have him do up, down, up.
Up, down.
No, in your voice.
down and touch the ground. It puts me in the mood. Up, and down to my appetite's delight.
You
Go
skipped
up,
some.
down, and touch the ground. I think of things to chew, like honey, milk, and chocolate. With a hefty, happy appetite, I'm a hefty, happy Pooh. With hefty, happy appetite, I'm a hefty, happy Pooh. Oh, bother. Empty again, no, just a give us left. I am short, fat, and proud of that, and so with all my might, I up and down to my appetite's delight. Well, I up, down, touch the ground.
He's touching the ground.
It put me in the mood, like honey, milk, and chocolate. With a hefty, happy appetite, I'm a hefty, happy Pooh. With a hefty, happy appetite, I'm a hefty, happy Pooh.
So good.
Wait up, Pooh, Pooh, wait up, Pooh, Pooh. Toby, look at your stuffed and fluffies. Wait up, Pooh, wait up, Pooh. When there's a real bear, Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Toby, look at your stuffed with fluffies. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. When there's a real bear.
So what do you think of Pooh?
You've got to smile.
You know, I tried to do the smiley face, but it wasn't looking very good. Do you think he's fat enough?
No.
No?
Some extra stuff.
He needs extra stuff and fluff. Do you still love him?
Mommy, it's close to filming day.
I know. When is filming day?
Saturday.
And when is Saturday?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you excited?
No, it's actually Sunday.
No, it's actually Saturday. You're right. It's tomorrow.
Now can I show you my biggest throw?
Hold on. I have a couple more questions for you.
What?
Are you excited about filming your show tomorrow?
Yes.
Are you Winnie the Pooh?
Yes.
Yes. Are you a good Winnie the Pooh?
Yes.
Yes. Are you the best Winnie the Pooh?
Yes.
Do you love your stuffed Winnie the Pooh?
Yes.
Was it really nice for Mommy to make you a stuffed
Yes.
Winnie the Pooh?
Yes.
Does it look like Pooh?
Yes. No. 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 No.
What about
yes,
it?
Yes, it does look like Pooh.
It does?
A bit, but some extra stuff and
Is it like close enough?
close?
And you still love him though, right?
Why did you do honey jar? You forgot to make me a honey jar.
Well, I don't know how to crochet, and that was in crochet. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that footage of Owen with his Pooh Bear being very silly. Yeah, that was the only finished object. That was actually really the only knitting project that I really was working on since his accident. As I said, like I couldn't podcast last weekend. I had a hard time focusing on anything except Owen for several days, and I was kind of not in a good emotional state to sit down and podcast when that happened. And it worked out because my husband had a really busy weekend at work, so I was here hanging out with Owen, and I just took the pressure off of myself. And so I decided I wasn't going to podcast last weekend. I was just going to take a few days and just breathe and just be with Owen and just be a mom. And I actually didn't really get that much knitting done. I'm actually supposed to be test knitting all of these things right now, and I'm feeling like I took on way more things test knitting than I should have, and I'm kind of stressing out about that a little bit. So once these test knits are done, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break from doing at least so many test knits and just get back to just knitting things purely because they're things that I am just interested in knitting. No deadlines and everything like that. The stress of that situation just made like everything felt like so much pressure to like continue, and I really, really just needed to breathe. So I took last week off so that I could breathe, and I decided to just focus all of my energy on knitting Owen Pooh because I wanted to have it done for the show. And I just needed something that was like a really good, like a feel-good project that I could just kind of pour my feelings into. And so that's what I did. So Pooh is done. And now I have some freshly cast on projects that I am eager to show you the beginnings of. Okay, so my first whip is another test knit for Annie Lupton of Boho Chic Fiber Co. This one is called Playwright, and I'm actually really excited about this one. I absolutely love the design. I cannot show it very much to you. I mean, I don't have very much done. This is the project that I was in the middle of casting on. Like, I had like half my cast on stitches done when we got the call about Owen. And then it sat for like several days and I didn't even finish casting on or anything. But I do have a little bit of it done. I'm going to show you the yarn that I'm using first. I think I showed this to you guys last time in my acquisition section. So the yarn that I'm using for this project is a colorwork sweater, and I have Kelborn Scout, Kelborn Woolens Scout, and it's 100% wool, and I think it's like a DK weight. I think that's what it is. And it is the color Mulberry Heather. Mulberry Heather. Yes, it's a DK weight. And the color is number 602, Mulberry Heather DK. And so that is really, really pretty. This is my color. It's like not exactly purple, but it's kind of like a mulberry, like a berry color, right? And then the other one I'm using has a really interesting texture to it. This is Woolfolk, and it's called Flet. And it's kind of like a boucle yarn. It's like very, it's very thin, but kind of like poofy, and it's really cool. And the color of this one is number 1, lightest gray, and this is also a DK weight yarn. So I'm actually really pleased with how good these two look together, the colors. I picked this out. These were the same yarns that Annie used in her pattern, but different colors. So I picked out the colors on my computer screen, which is always kind of a bit of a gamble. Yeah, so this is what I have so far. I'm gonna just go ahead and show it to you because it's not very much done. But so it's a top-down sweater, color work, and this is the start of it. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I have not worked on it very much. I've got my floats there. Looks really cool. Yeah, so it's really in the beginning stages right now, and my deadline is pretty soon. So I'm pretty stressed because I have like 2 deadlines like right back to back, and they're in like 2.5 weeks or something. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to knit like a crazy person because I don't know, I couldn't focus. I couldn't focus on my knitting. I couldn't focus on anything. I just couldn't. And so, yeah, I don't know. Usually knitting is like the one thing that I always can do. And I was just really struggled when he had his accident for like so many days. I couldn't, like, I did a little bit, but not enough to like make any significant progress. So look for updates on this next time. Hopefully there'll be most of a sweater done next time I see you guys. So that is the first freshly cast on whip. Okay, so my next whip is another test knit that I am doing for Annie Lupton of Boho Chic Fiber Co. And this sweater is called Artist's Journey. And it's a really exciting big project. It's like a 3-color stranded knit sweater. I should have started this one a while ago, but I sat on it for a long time because I had a lot of trouble kind of coming up with the color scheme that I wanted to use for this sweater. When I first agreed to do it, I said, oh, that looks like something that I could pull yarns from my stash to do. And then I couldn't find the right things in my stash again. Like I had not like a lot of sport weight yarn, but I had enough where I thought I should have been able to pull together some colors, but the colors that I had just weren't exactly looking great together. So I sat on it and I sat on it and I sat on it, and I sat down at like a week ago and I said, okay, like I really need to figure out what colors I'm going to use for this sweater, what yarn I'm going to use, because I'm going to have to order the yarn and who knows how long it's going to take to get here. And then the deadline is like way sooner than I would like it to be because I procrastinated on beginning the sweater. So, yeah, I'm a little like overcommitted right now, I think, to test knits, but I don't know why I did that to myself. I don't know why. This is kind of how I roll. Like I get excited about things and I say, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh yeah, I'll help you with that. Oh yeah, I'll help you with that. And then like when I actually like get down to it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I took on too much. So that was part of my stress last week, as well as just like, it was like everything. So I'm definitely going to, like, after I get through these, because I do follow my, like, if I make a commitment to somebody, I follow through. So, yeah, so after I get through these next few test knits, I'm just going to take a little bit of a breather from them and just have a period of knitting where I'm not knitting to a deadline, because it's just adding a little bit more stress, I think, than I can actually handle right now when like life throws something at you, what happened last week with Owen. Like I just didn't plan, obviously, for that to happen, and I didn't anticipate like how much of a setback it was going to be for what I was able to handle in my knitting. So anyway, so I finally sat down and was looking at different options for like what sport weight yarns were available, and I decided to check out Wonderland Yarns and Frabjous Fibers. It's a wonderful company, and all of the yarns are named after like things from Alice in Wonderland, which is really cool. It's actually the next show that Owen is going to do is Alice in Wonderland, so it's going to be really fun to work on this while he is participating in that show. Actually, it's kind of due right around the time that starts. Yeah, so I don't know. But so I decided to go on their website, and I wanted to tell you how I chose my colors, because I think that this is the best way I could have done it, because like there's so many yarns that have like a wide range of color palette, but Wonderland yarns, like they group a lot of mini skeins together into predetermined color packs. And so this sweater uses 6 contrasting colors and 1 main color. So I was like just getting so overwhelmed by thinking like, what colors am I going to pick? How am I going to know if they're going to look good together? So I headed on over to Wonderland Yarns and I searched for their mini skein color packs, and I chose my colors first for the contrasting colors. So this is what I chose, and I know that there's a bit of a glare, but maybe you guys can see. So I chose this palette of colors. So there's actually 8 skeins in here. They're 1 ounce skeins, so there's 86 yards each. So I actually ordered 2 of these because I needed like a little over 100 of each color. So this gives me 8 options. So I might stick to just 6 colors. I might, like, because these are tonals, like a light and a dark, I might decide for like, because it's always in like a combination of 3 colors, the different color work sections. So basically I'm just going to be mixing and matching these colors for the different color work portions of the sweater. So I just really loved all of these colors together. I'm really big into jewel tones. Purples are my favorite. Teal is another big favorite of mine. So the name of this one, it's number 82, and it's called Rhyme and Reason. And it's Wonderland Yarns Pigments of Imagination. And so their sport weight base they've called Mad Hatter. So this is their Mad Hatter base, and it is 100% superwash merino yarn. So I chose that first, and then I went over to their like regular single skein section because I needed to come up with like a main color for the sweater. So I searched, like they have tonals and then they also have variegated. And so I actually went with a variegated. And what I went with is, so it's also Mad Hatter. And this is 344 yards. So I needed 3 of these, also 100% superwash merino. And I chose this beautiful color. So I'm going to put this down for a second. This is called Frippery, and it is number 189. And look at all of these colors. So pretty. So I saw this one and I liked how it was like a grayish blue as a base, but then it looked like all the speckles in here were similar, really similar to these. So I am really excited. The sweater is called Artist's Journey, and I just think it's going to be so colorful and so beautiful. I've got my work cut out for me because the deadline is really, really soon. It's like mid-April. And obviously, I only just basically started. It's a bottom-up sweater. So I don't even have the whole ribbing done. I have to have an inch. I've got probably about half an inch, but this is how it is knitting up so far. My camera doesn't really want to focus on it, but hopefully this will give you an idea of how it is speckling and how it is knitting up so far. It is so pretty. I really, really am excited about this. So this is actually the main color. And I love that it's variegated because the sweater is called Artist's Journey, and it kind of, with this, is reminding me of like splattered paint everywhere. So I'm really, really curious to see how this whole sweater is going to knit up. I wish that I had something more to show you. I'm not allowed to give you a sneak peek of the design or anything, but I mean, the deadline is super soon, so I'm gonna have to knit my little fingers off, and hopefully you guys won't have to wait too long to actually see the finished object. So, and this is what it looks like in the skein. So it's so pretty. Love all of those colors together. So yeah, that's Frippery. So that's all the knitting content that I have to share with you guys today, but I do have spinning because I started a new spinning project. So after I finished filming my podcast last week or 2 weeks ago when I was filming outside on that beautiful day, I got out my drop spindle and my fiber that I had just showed you guys from Paradise Fibers, Fiber of the Month Club for March 2021. And I started a new spinning project. So this is what I have so far. And this is my first ever art yarn. I have never spun an art yarn before, and it's a really kind of interesting yarn, I think. It's really different. So the fiber that I got is it's called Over the Rainbow, and it's just like some combed top, and oh look, you can actually really see the sparkle in it under these lights. So the blue stellina is the part that sparkles, and it's I think it's 100% merino wool, I think is what this is. And so it's just like all the different colors of the rainbow, and it's so pretty. And then they also provided a bag of green sheep. They provided a bag of green wool locks. I got the chartreuse color because they had like 8 different colors. They have 11 different colors of the wool locks, and I think they had 8 different colors of the fiber, the merino fiber. So I have never spun with anything like this before. Green is not at all my color. I mean, my worsted boxy was like green, and that was amazing. This is not something that I would pick out myself, but it's really interesting. So I guess that one thing that you can do with this is you could actually comb it out to make it a really smooth fiber, but I decided to try out my first art yarn. So, so what I have been doing, let me show you this fiber too. This is really pretty. So this is, it's like 6 ounces of this beautiful rainbow merino wool. And so it's really cool because like sometimes as you're spinning it, you get more of a certain color than others. I'm only worried because I'm not very advanced in my spinning yet that I don't want to muddy the colors together. So I'm a little bit concerned about that happening, but I'm just going to go with it and see like whatever happens. So this is my Loué drop spindle that I picked up when I went to Brooklyn General. I think it's just a basic, like very beginner friendly spindle. And I have been spinning. Maybe I can try. Gosh, I've never tried to drop spindle on camera. Let me see if I can show you guys like how I am doing it a little bit. So what I've been doing is I have been just kind of like spreading it out a little bit with my fingers so that it has like a way to catch on to the other fiber as I'm spinning it. So let's see if I can get this going a little bit. Oh, see, my fiber is really... All right. So what I want to do, so my fiber just kind of broke because I drafted it too thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reattach it by attaching this guy to it. So first, I'm going to kind of layer these around each other just so it kind of has something to catch on to. I'm a very novice spinner, okay? So I'm just gonna do the best I can. And then I'm gonna go clockwise because I'm going clockwise. So I'm gonna go clockwise and I'm actually gonna just give this a lot of twist at first. And then I'm still like parking and drafting here. And I just wanted to make sure that that caught. So that caught now. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to reattach my fiber. So I'm gonna spread this a little bit out and I'm going to reattach this just by kind of putting them together. I'm going to give this a lot of twist. So just like twist, 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 twist until so now I can feel it up by my fingers and I'm going to park and now I'm going to let that twist up. So now I have reattached that. And so that's just kind of what I've been doing for this fiber. And see if I can get a little bit more going for you guys. Because I know that somebody asked and was hoping that I would show how I was using the green sheep. I just keep calling it a green sheep. I know it's not a green sheep. So, yeah, I'm kind of out of practice. When I was in practice, I had gotten to the point where I could draft and let it spin without dropping for a while. But here we go. Let's see if I can, that's gonna. So this is what it is looking like. It is not going to focus at all. So one of these days, I will be able to upgrade my equipment and record on an actual camera and not my phone. But yeah, so that's just what I have been doing with this fiber. And I have no idea what in the world I will make with this yarn when it is done. But it does look very springy and it's very happy. I don't know if I can get it to focus a little. There. It's certainly going to be probably the most interesting yarn that I've ever spun. So this is my spinning project currently. I had a really sweet viewer who said that she was not going to use the locks that she received, and so she wanted to send them to me. And so I got these in the mail. So I don't remember your name, but thank you so much. I'm going to send you a message and let you know that I received these. But she got this color, which I guess is the crimson color. So now I have also a crimson sheep to play with. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. I might have to order like another colorway from Paradise Fibers that I think would go really well with this, and maybe make another art yarn. I have no idea. But so now I have a green sheep and a crimson sheep, and that is my spinning project. I have only a very small acquisition section this week, thank goodness. It's fiber related. I don't have any new yarn. So when I ordered the yarn from Wonderland Yarns, Wonderland Yarns also is Frabjous Fibers. So it's all Alice in Wonderland related. And the last yarn, the one right here that I had just finished, this one, so pretty. So I took all of the ties off of it and I just kind of bundled it all together. And so you guys can see how beautiful this one turned out. Yeah, I've just had it sitting up here because I like looking at it. So, but yeah, so this is Frabjous Fibers, and that was a BFL base. And so I decided while I was ordering yarn from them, I wanted to just pick up a little bit of fiber too. So I picked up Frabjous Fibers 3 feet of sheep, and it is 8 ounces hand-dyed opulence wool top, and the color is Court Jester, and it is, so this is the label, and it is 30% super fine merino, 30% tussa silk, 20% baby camel down, and 20% alpaca. So I've never had any fiber with camel content in it, so that's going to be really cool. But basically, it's kind of similar to the mini skeins that I ordered. I'm just going to kind of put it like this so you can see all the different colors. It's kind of like a big rainbow gradient from like gold all the way down to the fuchsia. So I'm like really excited about this. So many options in here. So I'm not going to open this right now because, yeah, I'm sure it's very soft and wonderful. I'm going to choose to leave it in its package. So that is today's episode. So yeah, I don't know if I will be back in 1 week. It might be 2 weeks because of Easter craziness and spring break craziness with a 6-year-old around all day for a whole week, like all day, every day. So I'm not really sure how much I'm going to get done, and I will have to be focusing on my 2 test knit sweaters, which I'm not really allowed to show you guys anyway. So I'm kind of thinking that between a really busy schedule and being knitting on things that I'm not really allowed to show, I might take a break and just enjoy some extra Owen time while he is home from spring break and catch up with you guys in 2 weeks. So I hope that you guys all have a wonderful spring break. If you are on spring break, a safe spring break. I hope everybody is safe and hopefully starting to be able to see friends and family again a little bit at a time. If you have been vaccinated, I am still waiting for mine. Gonna be a couple more months, I think, before I can get mine, but that's okay. So speaking of Owen, I will be inserting some extra fun Owen footage after I say goodbye. So if you're interested in seeing him play with his Pooh Bear and hopefully some pictures from his theater show, stick around a little bit longer and just enjoy some more Owen. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, I hope that you will like by giving me a thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button. It means so much to me. Everybody who likes and subscribes and comments on my video. I love interacting with you guys below. So I hope that you guys all have a fantastic couple of weeks, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Deep in the hunt,
Can you just hug him instead of throw him?
deep in the 100-acre wood, where Christopher Robin plays, you'll find the enchanted neighborhood of Christopher's childhood days. A donkey named Dior and his friends, and Ganga and Little Woo. There's Rabbit and Piglet and there's Owl, but most of all Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Pooh! Winnie the Pooh, Pooh! Tubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh, Pooh! Winnie the Pooh, Pooh! When we knew we said we were bear, Poop!
Right.